morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on After GMS. Today is Tuesday, September 14th. I'm Tracy McCain here with Megan Malaris, and we have Ed Matthews, right center, focus. Love it.
And big and bold, just
Boy,
like his personality.
I cover the whole area here in the center, don't I?
You do.
Gigantic compared to you guys.
Yeah, you have.
Maybe I've been eating too much.
No, no such thing.
We frame things on the most important things in our lives.
Yeah.
Aww.
So Ed, we were marveling earlier that it's already the 14th, almost halfway through the month of September. We have had a little taste of fall, but it was short-lived, and then heat is back today.
Yeah, the heat is back, humidity gradually building across the area. We'll talk more about that in just a second. I want to start out with Nicholas just to let you know what's going on. This is an old advisory, I'll be honest with you on that, but the Hurricane Center issues the next one at 8 o'clock, so I'll show that to you at the end of this broadcast, but it will have weakened even more. It made landfall south of Houston, Texas overnight as a Category 1 hurricane with wind gusts of 95 miles per hour and sustained winds of 75. And then, of course, now that it's over land, it's starting to weaken somewhat. Last report, 70 mile per hour winds tracking off to the northeast. It's pretty much right near the city of Houston, Texas right now. And the radar is just showing a lot of heavy rain over the east coast of Texas, but a lot of that heavy rain in rain bands moving over Louisiana. And with the slow movement of this system to the east and to the northeast, it could dump as much as 10 to 15 inches of rain, maybe a few spots even more than that. Here's where it's located on our tracker right now, and we put it in motion to show you what the forecast track is, and you see it just really doesn't move very much. Now the winds continue to weaken, but this thing's going to be a big old glob of tropical moisture that's going to hang over the Gulf Coast states. And with the more easterly track, if that pans out, it looks as though most of the deep layer moisture associated with the storm will remain along the Gulf Coast, maybe the outer fringes trying to sneak into the Piedmont by the end of the week. But the dew points show that the air, although the dew point's up a little bit as compared to recent days, it is still not, sultry, out of control, steam bath kind of weather across the area, but the dew points will continue to move upward somewhat. So it'll feel a little bit more uncomfortable over the next few days. And after today, the clouds will increase. We're on our way to the upper 80s today. Some extra clouds, mid and upper 80s tomorrow. Will start to cool it down because of the extra clouds. We might struggle to make it to 84 on Thursday and Friday. Not a whopping chance of rain, but about a 30 to 40% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms Thursday through Saturday, and really right on into Sunday as well. But don't cancel weekend plans. They're the kind that are kind of hit and miss, and that's what's going to be the case this upcoming weekend.
All right, we are closely watching Nicholas and any impacts, and of course the recovery from an already battered Gulf Coast. So it's going to be a long few days ahead. All right, Ed Matthews, thanks so much for that. How do you feel about some baseball today, Ed Matthews?
Oh, I feel good about that. Love to see a game.
Yeah, weather is perfect for that.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take you out to a cool ball game today. It is the Winston-Salem Dash's 336 celebration. It features a ball game and some extra special jerseys and treats celebrating all things 336 today at Truist Stadium.
Well, that brings us to our interactive question for you this morning. What's your favorite part about living in the Triad? You can go ahead and drop a comment below while we share some of your responses and tell you what's in store for the game.
All right, so the Dash, as we just said, is switching up the jerseys for today's game. Players will sport these during the game against the Bowling Green Hot Rods. This is kind of like a mock-up version of what the jerseys will look like today. Each jersey features the Winston-Salem skyline with a nameplate on the back of each one that sports a town or a county across the 336 area code. There are 40 jerseys in total.
So I asked you on my Facebook page, what's your favorite thing about living in your hometown? Barbara said, I love the people and how friendly most are. We are centrally located between beaches and mountains. Greensboro is a beautiful city. I concur. Ken said it's small and everyone knows your name. Michelle said weather, hospitality, and sweet tea. Lisa said, I have lived in Greensboro all my life. My favorite part about living here is my family is here.
So we also got some responses via text this morning. One viewer said, Winston-Salem baseball. Another said, I've been here all my life and the people are so friendly and there are great restaurants. Tracy Shumack said, we moved to the Triad just over 8 years ago to Louisville from Wilson, North Carolina. We love it here. There is always so much to do and being so close to the mountains is just icing on the cake. We heard from Telly who said, born and raised in Greensboro, the Triad is my home. It's not too big, not too small, just right for me. I share those same sentiments, you know, being from here, now working here and raising a family here. It really has everything you need, literally checks off the boxes. My family is here. I mean, my extended family, my parents, my brother, cousins, everybody. So it's just great. You don't have to go too far to feel, you know, connected. We're home and I love it.
And it feels like home even if you're not originally from here. I can attest to that. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, moved here for work. Gosh, going on 9 years now. So this has felt like home ever since I got here because of the people. A viewer mentioned it on my page in that comment we shared earlier. Just you feel this genuine sense of warmth from everybody around you here, this sense of welcoming, and I love that, and it really hasn't gone away. Also, of course, I do not take for granted the beauty of this state, the beauty of the Triad in particular, and its proximity to everything from nature trails to lakes, to the mountains, to the beach. I mean, this is an amazing place to live, that real sense of community that I love. Ed, you know a little something or two about this area, don't you?
I've never lived anywhere else. I've never lived out of North Carolina. I've lived in North Carolina all my life, 33 years of that in Greensboro, and I remember quite fondly that when I moved here, it's like, yeah, okay, I'll move to Greensboro for a couple of years. About the only thing I knew about the Triad, quite frankly, in Sanford, we were more associated with the Triangle, the Raleigh-Durham area. We'd pass through Greensboro on our way to the mountains or something like that. And it's like, oh, there's Greensboro, okay. But certainly I've learned a lot about it. Yeah, 2 years has turned into 33 years. But it's North Carolina, it's the local area, and it is the people. Hands down, very friendly, very inviting, very cordial, just wonderful, wonderful people that have been so good to me moving here as a meteorologist at WFMY, and I certainly am grateful for people putting their faith in my forecast every morning here on the Good Morning Show. Been doing that for 33 years and no plans to go anywhere else because this is the place to be. And if you drive around anywhere in North Carolina, you see a lot of license plates on the highway from other states.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's becoming more of a destination for people.
Yeah, really. And you know what? The last census, I think our state population is approaching 11 million. When I was a little kid, it was about 7 to 8 million. So we've been growing pretty steadily here in the state of North Carolina as people are discovering us. The mountains, the coast, the Piedmont, it's all beautiful.
Yeah, the universities that we have in this state, the innovation we have here, First in Flight, all the museums that we have honoring aviation. I mean, NASCAR, the list goes on, Carolina Panthers, ACC, and also the products. You know, when I went to college at the University of Connecticut, I was looking for the cheer wine. They don't have that up there.
Nope. No,
they don't. But I also was looking for the Chick-fil-A and the Bojangles, and I think they do have some of those restaurants up there now. But even Krispy Kreme, I'm like, is this only in North Carolina? And developed a really fond sense of home after I moved away. I took advantage of it while I was here, but now that I'm back, I'm certainly enjoying everything that makes this community great.
Yeah, Ed, you're right. We did gain so much of a population over the last decade that we gained another seat in Congress in the House of Representatives. So that'll be reflective in the next election. But that's pretty cool, just a testament to how much people love our state and want to make this their home if it's not already. We've heard some great comments here coming into our feed. Jessica said growing up, she couldn't wait to leave. She left here in 2014 and then came home in 2019. She said there's really no place like home. Heather said we are so close to the beaches and the mountains. Most people are so nice. She's lived here her whole life and loved it. Bobby loves the people, the peace, and the quietness as well. All right, I think that's our cue to get started with our headlines. We apologize for the brief or for the abrupt ending to that conversation. We'll get back to it a little later on. We do have some very important headlines to talk about, including some traffic alerts. So let's get to those right now. Blues Creek and Newberry Street remain closed as crews clear the scene of a deadly tanker truck crash. The truck company said the vehicle was carrying 6,000 gallons of a highly flammable chemical, and it caused a hazmat situation, which is taking some time to clean up. The truck also was wrapped in power lines, which caused some isolated power outages in the area. Highway Patrol said at this point it does not know what specifically caused the crash. Highway Patrol confirms 2 deaths related to a crash in Archdale. This happened last night on Highway 311 near Driftwood Drive. Troopers say a motorcycle was going above the speed limit when it hit the driver's side of the vehicle. Troopers say a 22-year-old and 63-year-old died in the crash.
A broken water line in Winston-Salem created a large sinkhole that forced city crews to close the road. The city says repairs likely will not be complete until later today. A portion of Bethabara Road remains closed from Old Town Road to Silas Creek. They repaired one line, but they're working on a second line. Water service is back in the area, but the city is asking you to conserve it where possible. More than $59 million in federal funding will help the city of Greensboro recover from the pandemic. It's part of the America Rescue Plan. And now city leaders want to know how you want to spend it. WFMY's Denise Miller talks about how you can share those big ideas.
Well, there are a couple of ways folks can weigh in. One is at tonight's virtual public hearing run by City Council or by completing a couple of online surveys. On the city's website is what's called a rescue plan simulator. Outlined are the different areas the money can go towards. For example, a certain dollar amount can go to recovery assistance and another amount can go to housing. Community members can map out each dollar allocated in a way they see fit. The options available were decided by the Department of Treasury, and so far about 700 people have given their input.
People are indicating that affordable housing, community parks and programs for youth are extremely important, that investing in those industries that have been most impacted by COVID-19 are really the highest priority for our residents.
In order for a project or program to get funding, certain criteria must be met. The community is encouraged to fill out a second survey to help the city create that standard.
We would really like to hear from people about how we're considering evaluating these proposals, and we think it's really important for people to let us know if we're considering all of the factors we should be considering in terms of what the community needs.
And
all right, so we have more of that on our website. We apologize that it's kind of jumping around a little bit here, but let's get to our next conversation. It's only September, but the head of UPS says you should consider ordering your Christmas presents now. Yeah, to make sure they arrive on time.
So we're going to talk about those comments coming up here, but this is where our conversation begins this morning. Our question, have you started Christmas shopping yet? I know, you're thinking, it's not even Halloween, but some people are already getting a jump start. We'll talk about it, but let us know in the comments. Here's what the CEO is saying. It was a heads up, really. It came across as a joke at first, but there really is some truth behind it. A year and a half into the pandemic, supply chain problems continue in almost every industry and could very well continue well into next year. So, are you starting a little early? And is it because of those problems or just because you like to get a jump on it? that is a big no for me. I haven't even thought about my son's soccer game this weekend. And so, you know, and I was making a comment to Jessica about, you know, how I tried to take advantage of some Christmas and July sales last month and did, but I've given those to my kids already because, you know, we have a reward system in my house. You do this, you get this, and, you know, and it works, but now I'm out. So I gotta get some more stuff.
They always find the little goodies hidden around the house. They have a way of doing that. Yeah, I had not thought much about it until I heard this story earlier on the Good Morning Show. I have taken into consideration the lengthier amount of time it does take to send packages nowadays. Even mail takes a lot longer than it used to. So I think that's already kind of pre-programmed in me now, you know, send things earlier if you want it to get there by the date or before the date. So hopefully that'll translate to Christmas shopping too. I need to start making a list though. If you have any suggestions on what an almost 2-year-old would like for Christmas, let me know. I need some ideas.
Got lots of those.
I'm sure.
All right, Ed Matthews, Christmas shopping. Are you a procrastinator or are you ready to get it done?
Are you kidding? Of course I am. I haven't even thought about Christmas at all, much less Christmas shopping. But you know, some of the decorations tend to hit the stores very early, so maybe that would get people in the mood. I haven't seen any yet, but it seems like some of those decorations out in the stores get earlier and earlier every year. No plans to get started, although I think it's a great idea, and quite frankly, it's something that I had not thought about starting early to make sure that you get those gifts, because, you know, with the COVID situation, you know, it just seems like the whole world is kind of slowed down, so we have to make adjustments to that, and Christmas is no different. But after we get, you know, a couple of nice shots of chilly air, maybe that'll motivate me to start thinking about Christmas and go do some early Christmas shopping.
Yeah, early as in like already done. One of our friends on our feed here has already finished.
Wow.
Robin Lawson said, I'm finished, got all my shopping done this month, just waiting for the rest to come in.
Wow.
You are my Christmas shopping hero. Show me your ways and how you do it. I mean, that's just, I just need to focus in on it. And if it's not like a top of my mind right now, I kind of like push it to the back until it becomes top of mind. But that would be great just to be done. And, you know, have it all checked off.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Heather said we draw names in the family at Thanksgiving. It's usually smaller stuff that's easy to get. My family used to do that for gatherings at my grandma's house. We had a lot of cousins growing up, aunts and uncles, so it was easier to do what we called like a Kris Kringle, where you just pick a name out of a hat and you buy the gift just for that person. And it's really kind of fun, you know, makes it special. And you have guessed over the last few weeks since Thanksgiving who maybe had your name, and then you see whether you were correct and obviously get a little treat. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, people have a lot of different traditions and things or ideologies when it comes to shopping. So Robin said she actually uses the Belks Bucks sales everywhere, which is always good. Jessica Richards said that she has 3 children, so she gets a jump on it pretty early. And that kind of inspired me to maybe start next month in October, which is great. Joanne said she makes personalized family calendars as part of my gift for all my children and grandchildren. Already have them ordered, and I think that's a great idea. I love personalized gifts. Yeah, personalized mugs, calendars. It's pretty awesome. And then Heather Harness was responding to a comment that you made about how you guys do your Christmas gathering. She said, we draw names in the family at Thanksgiving, and it's usually smaller stuff that's easy to get.
Yeah, awesome, great ideas. It's interesting that people have already thought about this.
Yeah.
You know, time is sneaking up though. It's already midway through September.
It is. I remember the winter I was having Simone. That's the only year I planned for Christmas ahead of time, because she was expected to be born on the 16th of December. She came a week early. Which I actually thought was right on time, because I always thought my dates were off, but whatever, I'm not going to go there. So anyway, that's the only year I wanted to make sure everything was decorated, all the gifts were under the tree, because I knew that with a newborn at home, it was going to be very difficult to get that stuff done. And I was like, this is so great. I'm going to do it next year. And then I didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's
That's how it goes.
All right, so we want to get a final check of our forecast. Going back to some of the things people said in our earlier conversation, one of the biggest reasons they love living in the Triad is that we have such beautiful weather most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah, definitely so. We can have all varieties of weather, but thankfully no tropical weather in our backyard. But I did get an update on Nicholas continuing to weaken in terms of the winds. The winds are now down to 60 miles per hour. It's right near the city of Houston, Texas. It's moving off to the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Heavy rain still going on in eastern Texas, but a lot of that heavy rain and banding of heavy squalls moving into areas of Louisiana. This is going to track very slowly to the east and to the northeast, and maybe as much as 15 inches of rain or more are expected over the next several days along the Gulf Coast. And it does look as though the deepest layer of moisture stays south of the Triad, but some of the outer moisture tries to sneak in. So after today, we'll start a gradual increase in the chance of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We'll be into the upper 80s and mostly sunny today. We will start to see some more clouds tomorrow and a little bit more humidity, so it'll be a little bit muggier. Mid and upper 80s tomorrow. Will cool it off because of the extra clouds. It might be tough to make it up to 84 on Thursday and Friday with a lot of extra clouds, about a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms for Thursday, Friday, and right on through the weekend. Don't write off the weekend. It's going to be a typical September weekend here in the Piedmont. You'll just have to dodge a few afternoon showers and you'll be okay.
All right, as long as we're going to be okay. All right, thanks so much for joining us here on After GMS. Certainly had some great conversations with you, a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.
All right, have a great rest of your day.